Go ahead and nuke White Springs. We're gonna show some of the bugs that this game has. I've ran into an issue with White Springs several times, and it's probably a good reason why nobody even bothers with White Springs anymore. But hopefully, maybe Bethesda will see the video, and before accusing me of glitching or something, they'll be able to see what I'm talking about. What's happening is ghouls are laying down, and these ghouls will chase you while laying down and in the floor. There's quite a bit of hilarity out of it. At least I think it's pretty funny. I think we got materials to repair our gun. I've been trying to use up some of those repair kits because they do actually weigh something. That's the wrong one. Oh, we're low on springs, okay. Not a big deal. We'll use our repair kit. Did I accidentally drop my gun? That would have been a mistake. I kind of want to keep that. Shit. $40 now. Eventually we'll run out. There's White Springs. See if we can get a closer view. I love how the nuke leaves the silo looking all big and stuff, and you get that little fat thing that doesn't even look like a missile end up hitting the area. Yep, so that was a spiffy little nuke. How close are we? Close. Alright, let's put on our hazmat suit. Be overweight for a little while. they're not actually in the ground. That's shocking. Maybe I'll make some flux while I'm here. Now I'm gonna try something just for giggles. Let's put on a rad shield. Radix diluted. And glowing public blood pack. Glue stack. I do. Alright, here goes the fun part. Seeing if I can be in my armor. Ooh. That's not horrible, but not exactly what I was hoping for. That'll get us to our destination faster if I put the armor on. See that? That was the bug. I'm about to die. Let's put on our hazmat suit again. Go. Weird guys. Not very often you get a Scorch beast up here, but they're not horribly hard. This is obviously a pretty good idea to be on passive mode. Since I'm not wearing my gear, it becomes a little bit harder to kill things. Yeah, it's not horrible, but you don't really get any defense. Which we can trade one perk out. Interesting to say the least. This is gonna kill our stash space. Gonna end up having to bug somebody to do a transfer. I usually just pick up anything and everything and I'll sort through that stuff later. Because a lot of this stuff I'm sure I don't need. I actually haven't been here in, I want to say, months. Aside from one time, I think I was doing a plastic run. Whitsprings is one of the best places, in my opinion, for a plastic run. I can actually do a short plastic run. Show you guys where to grab some decent stuff while you're here. So stuff like these golf balls, that'll give you plastic and cork. And they're everywhere. Pool cues will give you plastic. Ski pole will give you aluminum. Pool balls are plastic. I'll show you guys when I'm ready to scrap how much plastic I got off this little run. Oh wait, I think one of my things was something about glasses, hacking with glasses. If you're like me and you actually like using Party Boy, you can grab a pretty good amount of whiskey and wine from that little area that I was just in. Back here's a brush. Over here will be golf balls. The golf clubs will give you steel. I think it's steel and plastic. I don't think it's aluminum. think that's done from up here. Those will give you screws, plastic. Sometimes there's a bobblehead back here. I don't see it though. Yeah. It's crazy how often this chest, specifically right here, has the power armor raider pieces. Broom will give you plastic. May as well grab a baseball bat. 3 golf balls there. Pretty effective way of making money too. I don't personally do it, but I know several people do. Pick up any and every outfit you can. They they weigh like 0.1. You can collect a bunch of those, sell those to the vendors. I personally don't like wasting my caps that soon on in the game. Like when I wake up, I'll do a quick sell just some random item, so my reset time is always the same. This trash can nobody seems to know about, and there's a bunch of plastic in here. Cups with straws have them. These little bowls, spoons, forks, knives. Right next to that is a ton more golf balls. I'm gonna put on a couple different perks because I need to farm up a little bit of Flux. Yeah, let's take serendipity off. We'll use up a couple points to make this a little more efficient. We need 2 and glowing. That's probably about the only perk there is right now to being above level 50, is you end up getting the points where you can actually just randomly pick stuff and be perfectly fine. So I collect Flux for a couple reasons. One is the inert Flux. The weight for it is always the same. Ooh, I'm getting close. It always weighs the same. You can use it to drink and it gives you 25% hydration. So I'll probably let some of them expire. But because I do the sheep squatch a lot, I'm gonna actually collect a bunch of the fluorescent flux. I think I passed it. I think it's all the way at the beginning again. Really doesn't hurt anything if you pick up anything and everything. I mean, if you're really that stuck up on how much you weigh in a nuke zone, you're going to be missing up a lot of loot. Get used to being overweight. It's not like you can't filter through that stuff later. Especially if you're like me and you're a bloodied build, you're gonna go in a nuke zone, it's inevitable, you're gonna be overweight. The Nuka-Cola cups that are stacked have plastic as well. The big key is look at colors and the shapes of things, and you start memorizing those and you start looting things quite a bit faster. I know there's a ghoul in there, but there's no plastic or anything in there. Not that I remember. Don't think any was in there either. Even if there was, it's not enough plastic to really fret over. I think the only one that I don't collect is Yellowcake, honestly. I don't think anybody really needs Yellowcake. I've never been much into using the Prime plans, I just sell them. But the only thing I know for a fact that uses Yellowcake is those orbital strike and scan beacons. They don't really mean much to me. So these little pastures right here, the greens, those more times than not will have golf balls on them too. Maybe a golf club. Go ahead and pick those up. Get some cobalt. Yellowcake. I don't need those. These usually glow, but there is a bug that makes it where they don't. I can't remember what they give. Well, it doesn't really matter. In areas like this, especially because of color, using your Pip-Boy may be beneficial, but you gotta be careful. And down here you're gonna find some ghouls. Obviously somebody killed them already. But they do show up and they can be a little sneaky, especially with the bugs where they're sticking in the ground and you never really see them come. Thinking this one's going to be purely a fluorescent run. I know fluorescent sells really well. It's used in a lot of the heavy weapon ultrasight pieces for the ammo. They're used for that. I'll just grab a couple of those. I'll just let them expire. But they're used for the ultrasight ammo for heavy weapons, so it's pretty much guaranteed that they'll sell. The downside is because I'm collecting so much and ended up wiping out a ton of ghouls. There's a good possibility that I'm going to have one hell of a weight management problem. Gonna end up having to do a transfer or go on Reddit, trade it, sell it, something. What a lot of people don't understand is, or a lot of people don't know, I should say, is that Whitsprings actually has a good crimson spot to farm up. I just never see people actually going for the crimson ones. Not 100% sure why. I do know some of the mutations require it, but since I flip mutations, I don't really care or need it. Actually surprised how many people are in Whitsprings right now. Like I said before, I haven't seen people do Whitsprings in forever. Go ahead and scrap, may as well. I don't think they made it where, I think they fixed it where the hardened mass and stuff is no longer scrappable. This isn't really going to help my weight at all. But it's just less stuff I'm going to have to go through later. At least all these are dead. More plastic. Some screws, plastic. those tokens actually do anything. I think it's one of those spoof items. If I'm wrong, somebody can correct me. But I know that they're not the Mr. Fuzzy tokens, so I never pick those things up. Alright. So the crimson can be kind of hard to see. They kind of hang out on the edges. In this particular spot, I can't remember if it spawns. I think it does. We're going to be taking the long way around. One of my favorite plastic spots are actually up here. All these little golf balls. Nothing to attack you. No, unless you piss off the robots. I kind of look for the shadowing as I do it. I look at it as kind of like mowing the grass. I'll stay on track and I'll go up and down, make sure that I get all of it. Kind of a silly way of looking at it, but that's exactly what it is if you want to make sure that you pick them all up. First few times, definitely go slow, because you can miss quite a bit of them. Sometimes you just need a different angle. Here's a golf ball that can't be picked up. Different angle, found another golf ball. The way I found this stuff out is mainly by accident. I've never been one to look at YouTube videos to learn certain things about the game, just because when the game came out, there was a lot of negativity. A lot of it was unjustified. Some of them was very justified. I prefer actually playing the game, learn, enjoy myself, find a struggle, hopefully, which at this point there's really not much of a struggle anymore. But you explore, you find places that are good. Some people probably know places that are better than this. For plastic, I know Morgantown High School and Watauga High School are both good places as well. But those aren't my only two go-to places when it comes to farming up some plastic. Quick look, just make sure that we got at least the majority of them. I'm sure I missed a couple. After all, they don't stand out very well. Oh, and this location is right there. Other side of the Whitspring service entrance. That was plastic right there, those little coffee things. There's usually a caps box up here. Would be right there if it was here, but it's not, so no luck this to go around. Nuke zones are, unless you're doing the queen, it's still pretty much just a grind, and grab whatever. Grab anything and everything. Can't pick those up. I don't really care about those anyways. We'll just keep on moving. Alright, so for the Crimson Flux, I know for a fact it's in this little courtyard. Let's see if I can remember where they are. Here's one. Let's see if I can get a good view of them. So they look like that. They're easy to forget and not see, but it's inside these little courtyards over here. They'll be up and down over on this side and towards the center. So we'll just pick all that stuff up. We'll turn some of it into flux, other ones we'll let rot so we have a larger supply of fluids. And again, I'm sure I'm going to be missing quite a bit of them because I haven't been here in forever. So I'm kind of winging it at this point. That's one of those silly bugs. Scorch beasts follow you, and that one was the one that I killed on the other side of Whitsprings. Sometimes it's a nice thing that it happens, because if you happen to be in like Cranberry Bog and their body just perfectly meshes into one of those trenches, it's easy to forget them, and you never know, that could cost you 2,500 caps because you're selling those heavy weapon ultrasight ammo plans. Alright, I think that's good for this area. Should be a few more back here. Just never really know if you miss something. I think I'm just going to use this one as a tutorial on how to make Flux. That way people who do join the game and start out and wondering why they have to spend an absurd amount of money for something that's not even hard to make, they can just look up the video and go from there. Alright, I'm gonna call it for that plastic run. We're gonna see just how much whitsprings gave us. Should be a pretty good amount. Somehow I doubt I'm gonna have the space for it. Even with everything on, I'm overweight. That's funny. Oh. I remember when the game came out, I was actually one of the first people to end up in Whitsprings. And I was so paranoid at the time because I didn't know if it would be like Fallout 3 or 4 where it's like, oh look, robots. Hey, I could use some springs. I thought those guys were going to kill me. So I was a little reluctant to pick something up, then one day I just kind of got ballsy and said, okay, I'm going to do it. Alright, so we ended up with a lot of crap. So for this plastic run, we ended up getting 249, and that was probably, if I would have skipped getting the Flux and stuff, that probably would have been about 10 to 15 minute run. Well, no, because we'd have to go kill the ghouls and stuff. I'd give it 15 minutes to a half hour, which is still pretty good considering how many people want plastic and how many people need it. I'm at the point, you can look over on the side of the screen. I got 1,300. I just got done giving a friend of mine, I want to say 30 bulk plastic the other day. Yeah. And I'll put them on the vendor every now and again. But plastic is never a problem anymore. We're actually gonna just make a bunch of ammo after I make the Flux. So for the Flux, you're gonna want to put Super Duper on. I don't think it's considered a drug, but I'm just going to put it on anyways because it's been a while. Yeah, I'm fairly sure that's not going to work. Then bump up our luck a little bit. I do think luck does play a factor in when it comes to actually crafting this stuff. Maybe it's coincidence, I don't know. But it seems like Super Duper procs quite a bit more if I bump up my luck. That's charisma. I ran out of my usual drug. So we definitely want to make the fluorescent. And look at that, already out of glowing mass. So we ended up getting 11 fluorescent flux. That's not bad. We probably would have got more if I actually farmed out there, but I'm not looking at doing that. Now for the bane of my existence is ammo, because I have entirely too much of it. But we gotta get rid of some of these resources. So one thing that I look at is, one, what ammo do you use? Which I use 5.56 obviously, but I got a ton of it. I want to say almost 30,000, so I don't want to make any more of that. So the next step would be 308 and 45. Those sell pretty quickly. Look at the cost between the two. You get the same amount of bullets, but 308 costs more than 45. Not by much, but lead-wise, yeah, it makes a difference. So we will just start wasting resources in that. Some people go on Reddit and they use this stuff for trades, and that's great and everything, but I'm actually looking at trying to get a fixer, so maybe I'll actually use the 45 sometime. I may just transfer a lot of this ammo over to a mule because it's just too much. Found a trick on farming lead that I didn't know before. A buddy of mine told me about it. And I'll cover that in a video sometime. But for now, we're gonna bulk this stuff up. And sell off crap that we don't need. No, I don't even want to go down that route. Alright, do I have anything I can possibly get out of here? Alright, now we're at 13,045 ammo. Oh. Okay, maybe I'm under 20,000 on 5.56 now, but either way, that's a ton of ammo. We need to do some stash management, and we need it bad. Usually my stash isn't that bad, but I've been going on an ammo making spree. I would keep some of that cork. I got more in the stash, but cork is light, and you can turn your stuff into ultralight with it, so it's kind of nice to have some on standby if you can manage to hold on to the space. Alright. See if everything fits in now. Barely, but it fits. So, almost 130 bulk of plastic now. That's not what I farmed today only, but it's very easy to get up there. Bouncing between 3 to 4 places, you'll get plastic like no other. So if you're a shotgun fanatic or whatever, have at it, have fun. Sell it on vendors. Since nobody sells plastic on vendors, you pretty much run the market. I got 22,000 freaking credits. I still gotta figure out something to do with those. Thinking about getting another mutation recipe. It's not like I need the caps. But we are going to call that a video. And if you guys like, please click like, subscribe, leave a comment if you have an idea of what you would like me to cover in the future. And I'll be happy to do it. If you're another PlayStation player, feel free to add me and yeah, let's play and do stuff. Blow stuff up. Huh. Alright, have a good one.